being aggressive, hitting bombs. Got to hit bombs off the tee to be able to get to those small sections. And that's what I'm going to do today. Hit bombs and attack the pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aloha Press. This is episode, I have no idea. What is it? Episode 12? Very good. This is the Open podcast preview. So, Jeff is joined with me today. We're in our home studio. Jeff's sitting over here on the porn couch, and I'm sitting here next to the equipment doing our thing. Jeff, how are we doing today?
Not too bad. I've been better. I'll tell you that much. We're both tired eyes and got to go to work tonight, so
it
sucks. But
yeah, it sucks. It's the way it goes. This isn't our. If you guys probably already know, but this isn't our full-time job for sure. I wish it was because it's a lot of fun. We enjoy doing this. But the one thing, Jeff, I want to address is we have to initiate an apology. Okay, we were planning on recording Monday, releasing the podcast either Tuesday, Wednesday, and sure enough, we're 10 hours away from the Open Championship, recording the pre-podcast for the Open. So
nothing better than crunch time, right?
well, I mean, you put yourself on a deadline, and you usually get things done.
Well,
and,
what sucks is we put the post out. We were going to get it done, and then we didn't do it. And we had some people that wanted to be on the podcast.
We had some guests lined up. Yeah.
Now, 12 o'clock on a Wednesday, that's not going to happen. People have real jobs that don't work at night like us.
Right,
So,
exactly. Like most people aren't available during the middle of the day. Like people have like banker hours, I guess, right? Most people do.
well, yeah, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Us, every day, 6 in the morning, 8 at night. I don't know. Whatever.
The good news is I think our new sponsor should be like Rockstar or Bang Energy drinks because
That's a good one.
I'm gonna need a few tonight, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna hammer through it. We're gonna enjoy this podcast. It's gonna be really good. So if you guys are listening to this right now, you are probably gonna be listening to right before the Open Championship starts in exactly 10 hours.
How many people do you think are going to watch it live compared to tape delayed?
For like our listeners,
Yeah.
if you're on the West Coast, it's tough because like the first tee time starts at like 10:30 at night, but then the last tee time starts at like 8 in the morning. So, and everyone's going off one, so not a lot.
See, I woke up this morning and I have a dilemma I didn't realize. Sunday morning when I get off work, Saturday night was my anniversary, which I'm missing because of work. So I had already made plans to spend Sunday with my wife and go wine tasting, drink beer, whatever we were going to do.
Sure.
Well, it's the final round live at that time when I'm getting off. I don't know how I'm going to wing it. Hey, can I watch golf for a little while, then take a nap, and we go out in the evening? Like,
No, you'll be able to get out in the evening. Yeah, it'll be done before then.
I know.
Before the evening, but I mean,
wants a full day.
a full 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, we got Aloha Press things to do.
Yeah, so
Because we're gonna record the after podcast, right?
Well, I hope so. Before the next major.
Yeah, right. This is the last major. I mean, we dedicated to our listeners that we're gonna record a podcast for every major championship, and we're running out of them. Like this is the last one for the tour, at least for the men's tour.
That's true. Maybe we'll do a women's one of these days.
Yeah, no, I think we absolutely should. I think it'd be cool to go to one. I think it'd be great.
American Century Golf.
Yeah, American Century Golf. So we got back Sunday morning. Yeah, I got back Sunday morning for the American Century Golf Classic up in South Lake Tahoe. That was surprisingly a lot of fun.
Had you done it as a kid?
No, I never did as a kid. We went we were in South Lake Tahoe when it was going on, but we never actually went to it. I always just watched it on TV because it seemed like it. I'm addicted to golf. And I'm sitting there watching the golf channel, and you're like, "Where is this?" I've been there before, and sure enough, it's Edgewood, South Lake Tahoe. So,
well, I don't know what the regular PGA Tour was doing this week. I didn't pay really any attention to it, but I watched the American Century on Saturday and Sunday on TV.
It's pretty compelling. Yeah, it's compelling TV.
Right? It's like they hit really good shots and they hit some really bad shots. It's just like us.
Oh, it's just like us.
Yeah.
But there's like 30,000 people walking around this golf course, and we were standing at every tee box, and they're playing in threes on Saturdays, and it seemed like about 2 out of 3 shots off the tee box, everyone was yelling 4. Just everyone, 4, get down! Oh my god!
Oh, I bet that's not a tournament where you want to be next to the ropes.
No, it was like we were hiding behind pine trees and shit because
Right, yeah.
it was freaking.
I'd like be behind the guy as he's teeing off and around the green. I don't want to be anywhere near them when they're hitting long irons or 3-woods or
Absolutely
even a
not.
wedge.
Oh, yes,
Laser-
shanked wedges. Are you kidding me?
Laser beam.
So we showed up Saturday morning, parked over at Mont Bleu, and walked over with me, my wife, and my kid, and it was kind of like going into Pebble Beach, but on a very like Amateur County Fair like entrance. I mean, they had the bark and the cool tents. It was just on such a micro scale,
Real small scale.
but it was cool though. It was they had it. They had everything there, and it was well run. The infrastructure was set up really well. There was plenty of parking. It was close. It was a nice walk. We didn't have to take the GMC Denali Uber ride in. But it was cool. And then you get there and you're like, I've been here before. Like I've been here like 10 times.
Yeah.
So you walk in and you kind of know where everything is, and you go out and watch a bunch of celebrities play golf. It was cool.
Well, and you can tell they enjoy it out of all their celebrity circuit tournaments. Like that's the one. Where else can you be up where you got girls in bikinis on the beach watching you play, people bumping music, throwing footballs on the boat? I don't know. Just as a celebrity tournament, that's the one.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, you're middle of July. It's like 85 degrees. It's beautiful weather. You're sitting next to the most, in my eyes, the most beautiful lake in the United States. And these guys are just hanging out, having a good time. Like, go ahead.
No, and then there's the nightlife afterwards. Like,
Exactly, right?
It's not like the tournament's over and you just go back to your little motel room, like we did in Monterey.
No, the party continues
Right,
via Ben Roethlisberger, President Donald Trump. I mean, there's all kinds of
There's a lot
crazy
of stuff that happens
stories
up there, right? But I mean, you got concerts, you got the gambling, the casinos, food, party. I'm sure people were running amok.
Oh, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And it was cool because we were walking around the course and stuff when we got to, I think, number 7. Tony Romo's, hitting up on the green. Everyone's screaming and yelling, having a good time. And then, you kind of walk down to the main facility. You guys are hitting range balls and, they're on the practice putting green. And then you kind of walk towards this, like, herd of people, and it's hole 17. And that's where the party's going on. And that was just incredible. Like, the amount of boats, there probably was, like, 2,000 boats. Just hanging out, and then there's just people freaking everywhere. Like, I would assume the USGA, if that was the same atmosphere at Pebble Beach in the Cove, like bumping music, throwing footballs and shit, like they would have there'd be the Coast Guard out there freaking taking people to jail.
Yeah, they'd be evacuating that whole fucking place. But speaking of 17, I don't know, did you see the basketball hoop they had set up near the tee box?
Oh yeah,
Steph Curry on Sunday did some type of a dunk, and I thought he broke his leg. I mean, he came down in his golf shoes and slipped on the grass, and I'm like, oh my God, that's just what the Warriors need. They already got half their guys hurt from last year, and Steph on Sunday fucking breaks his leg.
Just breaks his leg on the beach at freaking South Lake.
And him and his dad hit it on the beach.
Oh really?
So they were both playing from the actual beach.
That's awesome. So 17 was absolutely crazy. It was super cool, and it was a good atmosphere, and the music's blaring, and so we're kind of like in between the tee box and the green, and we're watching all these volunteers hold up, like, I don't want to say quiet signs, but they're screaming quiet, and I'm like, there's a speaker system. There's like Travis Matthew and all these like booths and stuff. They're all bumping music. They're all screaming. People are yelling, quiet. And I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Like,
good luck.
Are you brand new? Like, have you not been to this golf tournament before? Like, come on.
Yeah, if you're going to be a marshal on 17, you better just be keeping guys safe. That's it.
Yeah.
Let everybody have a good time. Don't let anybody run and tackle Aaron Rodgers, something like that. But keep everybody safe and let them have a good time. Let them drink, party. That's what they're there for.
So it was cool. And then, so as we're kind of walking around and stuff, and as a golfer, you realize, like, and you've played that golf course before, where shots are going to end up. And it's, my wife and my kid, I mean, my kid's 7 months old. So you're like, you're super conscious about, like, these guys are sometimes can hit some laser beams, into the crowds and shit. And my wife's like, oh, this is a good spot. I'm like, this is not a good spot.
Yeah,
Charles
if you got
Barkley.
a helmet on.
Charles Barkley's coming up, like, this is the worst spot ever. We're on the right side of the tee box, and I can just see him freaking laser beam one into my forehead. What happened to JC? He, unfortunately, his funeral's next week. We couldn't record the Open podcast.
Yeah, right. Charles got him.
But it was cool. Those guys were the guys and girls out there, they were super cordial with the crowds, and they were talking to people, and people were yelling shit out, and they were responding and shaking people's hands and signing autographs and stuff. And that was, I can't imagine how long the round took. It probably took 7 hours if you're playing with Charles Barkley, but it was cool. It was a good atmosphere. It was lighthearted. It was no one was taking it super serious. I saw a bunch of people like 3 and 4 putt.
I did notice. I think I was looking at the tee times for the first round, 1 and 2, and they made sure they had Charles playing in a twosome at the end.
Oh, I believe it.
They did not put him in a threesome in the middle of the
No.
day because that would have freaking slowed up that stuff even more.
He not only plays slow, but he also walks very slow.
He's a
And
big
everyone wants to say hi to him. Like everyone that like reached out to him, he would like genuinely like reach out, say hi, comment, smile, and it was just, I don't know. You don't really get out.
How many holes a day do you think he finished without picking up?
God.
'Cause
Dude, I have
speaking
no
of that, you know,
idea.
he's signing autographs, he's taking pictures, he's doing his thing. On top of hitting 16 shots before he gets to the green, like I know there's his partner's probably like, did they just pick it up? Because double bogey's the worst you can get.
Yeah, so I'm assuming
He's got
he
that
picked up.
before he gets to the green.
I don't. He probably didn't even use his putter. Like, get that putter cover on there and freaking just. I'm good. I'd just be putting with wedges. Who cares?
Right? I like it.
But the course was in beautiful shape, and then it was funny. Like, I haven't been to a golf course where Tiger Woods has been there. You know, at the U.S. Open, he for whatever reason wasn't there at the practice round, but it was kind of like it was the same level of crowds falling around Steph Curry, Justin Timberlake, Aaron Rodgers. As there was more people following them around than Brooks Koepka.
Oh, I
at the
believe
US
it.
Open.
JT's popular. Well,
Dude.
of course, all the women.
Oh, that's
know.
another thing we got to get into.
You know,
There were some women out there that were not golf fans, and I think their plan was to try and meet some people.
did they want to see what the 34th floor at Harris looks like?
I think so. Like,
Groupies.
yo, absolutely.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen groupies like that, and especially at a golf course. Like, hey, you know, what hole you guys going to? And they're like, what does that mean? And I'm like,
What is golf?
You're not here for golf, are you? You're for that after party.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about up there.
Hey, and totally, it was just crazy because the shit they're wearing. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, this is a golf tournament. Like,
Can you imagine if they had a celebrity golf tournament with just hot actresses and athletes and chicks only, like they do? You know, this is I'm assuming there maybe was 1 or 2 women in the field.
yeah, there's a couple women in the
Can
field.
you imagine if they had one the opposite way?
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
They'd be televising it.
Oh, yes,
on
they
like the
would.
Playboy channel or some shit.
Spike TV or something.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think it'd be on the Golf Channel.
That's true.
So it was cool. It was a cool event. I think you know, at least my take, the Aloha Press, I think we're gonna get a house and just spend like a week up there and just hang out, do some practice rounds, and try and get some people on the podcast. I think would be, I don't know, I think it would be the most accessible and the, you know, best way to get super famous people to jump on our podcast.
You never know.
You never know.
But I will tell you this: on Sunday, watching it come down the stretch, you know, a lot of guys don't give a shit about it, and they're having fun and they're playing and interacting with the crowd. But you know, the guys in contention want to win. There's a paycheck, pretty good
Yeah.
paycheck for them. And Tony Romo was cruising. Dude, that guy shot 2 under, I think, day 1, 2 under day 2. He made like 5 birdies in his first 12 holes or 11 holes on Sunday, and was cruising. And then all of a sudden, like, the pressure hit. And it was shank, and it was double bogey, and it was double bogey on like some easy holes. And I'm like, oh, it's funny to see that because we know what it's like, you know.
Oh,
when,
absolutely.
when you get in that position where everything can be cruising, you could be the freaking best golfer in the world that day, and one bad shot, one shank, one bad hole, and all of a sudden that's all you're thinking about. Like, I can't hit another one. I'll just make bogey. You know?
Exactly.
And,
I
like,
mean-
I don't even care about making birdies anymore. Just let me make bogeys, please. Like, find the
Stop
club
the
face.
pain.
Yeah, yeah. And he was hosel. They're like hosel rocket, and it was straight right into the trees. And then, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I mean, he ended up winning, and I think he only shot a couple, 2-3 over that day. Still a good round, but the pressure got to him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a bunch of people out there, a bunch of alcohol, and you know, when you're trying to take a golf tournament serious, where not everyone else is taking it serious. I don't know if this is like a tryout for another like pro-am or Web.com tour. I don't know.
But I will say
he's entertaining. He was cool.
I will say this: we got to get in Tony Romo's ear, get him the box because his
absolutely.
gear is atrocious.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he's sponsored by Nike. He had a blank hat on.
Well,
A
he used to
blank
wear,
black hat.
starter shit.
He's
right?
wearing Skechers now,
Nobody's
I
worn
think.
starters since the '90s when they made NFL jackets and stuff. And then I see him, he's blank blue shirt, blank blue hat, and he's got his Skechers shoes on because I know he's sponsored by them.
Yeah, shape ups.
But I mean, we could throw him some Aloha press gear and get him a hell of a lot more attention out there and make him look a hell of a lot better.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
Everybody else was dressed to impress.
He looked
Very homely.
pretty bad. Like, I don't even know where you buy. Like, I know where we buy our blank hats because we're going to stick our stuff on it. I don't know where you buy that blank stuff.
I don't know. If that's
The thrift store?
I'll have to ask Dylan at Creation Things if Tony just gets a fucking mass order of blank things.
Yeah. How much that hat cost, Tony? A nickel?
I don't know. We're reaching out
Crazy.
to him. Next year, we're sending him gear before the tournament.
All right, so listeners, this is your chance to get involved with the Aloha Press, okay? Get us the link to Tony Romo. I'm sure someone knows someone that knows someone. We need to talk to Tony.
Smithers knows Jim Nance, who knows Tony Romo from their football days.
Done. Ben, calling you out, okay? We need to talk to Tony.
All right, that was good.
Anyways,
That was good.
we spent way too long on the American Century Classic, where the after party of that thing, dude, Jerry Rice is just walking around. There was a fight in the bar.
I heard, did they shut down? Did you tell me that?
No, I think that was one of our other buddies. But yeah, they shut down the bar and freaking kicked everyone out. It was crazy. It was people were getting drunk and having a good time, and it was nuts. But it was cool. It was good. It's good to see my hero Jerry Rice. Still no autograph.
No?
Nope.
I got a couple Jerry Rice autographs way back in the day.
That's the way it goes.
You know what? He's doing Paul Blanco commercials now.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
So he's for hire. Like he
I
could probably
guess
do a lot of press.
I'm pretty sure
sponsorship.
we're not much more below a Paul Blanco commercial.
I don't think so.
So-
And I don't know if whoever's listening, I have no idea because we're recording this. But who was the guy, the pro golfer that was on the Golf Channel's Big Break? Isaac Sanchez. That was his caddy, Jerry Rice's caddy.
Yeah?
Went to Amador High School, played on the golf team. No idea. Saw him out there, said hi. Doesn't know who I am because I don't know who he is, but I recognized him, and it was kind of cool.
He played in the amateur football tournaments in the
Yeah,
past.
wasn't he one of our Nakashima buddies guys that I think he played their clubs for a while?
Yeah, he did celebrity shot stuff. He's a humongous man.
He's a ginormous human man.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
I can't even imagine what like the grips on his club look like. They got to be like as wide as a baseball bat, you know?
Probably.
I don't know.
Like the end of it, not even the other end.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We spent way too much time.
All right.
I'm pretty sure like all of June and part of July we spent in South Lake or North Lake or somewhere up there. Which then you come back and it's freaking God, it's so damn hot down here. It's brutal.
Well, I just got a text while we're talking, and it was about Tahoe for Big Ed's birthday, 50th birthday.
We're going back?
They want to rent a party bus. They got I think 60 tee times out at what's that course that I like? I shot 63 there. The hell's it called?
Tahoe Country
Genoa
Club?
Lakes.
Genoa Lakes. Okay.
Yeah, they got shuttle buses to that.
Give the listener some context. What are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
Big Ed or E3, I think is what we call
Yeah.
him. This is one of our buddies' dads, and he's a wild man, and he's super popular up in Tahoe, high roller guy. When we wanted to go to pizza last time I was up there with him, we had, 20 people there.
Dude, you got an Uber for the freaking Greyhound bus.
Yeah, we got a bus that picked us up at Harvey's and
Like
took
8
us
people rolling and
took us a mile to pizza. I mean, that's how much influence this guy has, and now he's having his 50th up there. So they're renting out 2 suites, right? The couple bedroom suites at the top of Harrah's. One for them to stay in, and one is just going to be a party room.
Oh.
Nobody's staying in it. It's just
Well,
gonna
beer
have
pong tournament.
bar, cornhole, food, and everybody that is part of his group, which is up to 60 people, is going to get a key card to come
Holy
and go.
crap. Sounds like a good time. Did I get a text? I
Right.
need to check my phone.
I might just sleep there.
Might as well.
All right, hang out in the party room.
Is that JC an air mattress? Yes, it is. Are they recording a podcast? Absolutely.
You know it.
Went to
Coming
Genoa
to
Lakes.
you
Had
live.
exactly, from Harris.
Fuck.
Love it. All right, let's move on.
Right.
Open
We're
Championship.
talking about it. All right.
We're 9 hours away. We're on a time crunch. Okay. Dude, Royal Port Rush. Don't know a lot about it. because I wasn't born yet when the last time they played there. Back in, what was it, 1951, I think.
68 years ago.
Yeah, long time ago. Going back and I was kind of doing some research about the Royal Port Rush and kind of the reasons why they, really haven't had an open championship there. It's because just all the violence in the pretty much the late 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they didn't think the infrastructure was great for that atmosphere. If it's a really interesting story, and it seems like it's kind of fizzled down, but never has really been resolved. So hopefully no one makes some stupid comment or ruins the event, because I think it's an awesome looking golf course. I know they changed a couple of holes around to kind of give a little more dramatic finish on 17 and 18. Because the thought was that they always had 16 great holes, but the RNA went in there a couple years ago and freaking redid it and made it a spectacular looking golf course. I mean, I just saw some of the aerial videos. I've never been there. I've never been out of the United States, really. But looks cool. Looks awesome.
No, it looks really cool. It looked really green.
Like super lush.
Which I'm wondering, come tournament time, are they going to dry it out like they do? And, the ball's going to go a mile because it's going to be browned out and kind of dead in some spots. But it's a small area. It's a small little town there. They got 3, major champions that come from there. I was doing a little bit of research myself. The one thing that kind of stood out to me was Rory talked about hitting drivers. So, and he pretty much said, I'm going to hit my driver maybe 10 times around, which that's huge, in a link
especially
style
a link
course. Style. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. I love watching this type of golf more than anything.
Well, links golf is so unique, and it's not, you don't get it everywhere, and we don't get it. We get it 3 weeks out of the year. And to see these guys do it at that level, it's going to be intriguing. It's going to be really entertaining. Especially, I heard some rain's coming, or the wind's going to kick up a little bit. It might make it a little challenging for these guys.
Dude, that's where Shot Tracer is like at its best. You watch them. I mean, they're starting their ball out over the tents. 30, 40 yards right of the fairway, hitting these lasers, and you just watch the wind take it, and it's awesome. I mean, if I could play around the golf, that's what I want to play in. Just screw around, hit shots.
Yeah.
Some drives go 400 yards. Some drives go 180 yards.
Because, I mean, can you imagine hitting a 6-iron 300 yards downwind? Like, how do you stop it?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You have to pick a landing area off the tee so that you can make sure you stop it.
Well, and that's what's cool about links golf, because it's not, I mean, you got to use, I mean, Tiger talked about in his press conference about angles and setting up and being on the right side of the tee box and, putting yourself in a position where, you might need to run one up or keep it low or, attack pins, in an area where, they're accessible. So I think that's kind of cool. And hole number 1, did you see hole number 1, how they set it up?
Mm-mm.
Freaking OB left, OB right.
Oh.
Yep.
How long is it?
I have no idea.
It's probably an iron for those guys.
Probably.
Nobody's going to
7-iron, downwind.
Nut up and hit driver.
Probably not.
That would be a horrible way to start your tourney.
OB?
Take 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Try again. Yeah.
Get a breakfast ball or what? Huh?
I could see Tiger hitting it out of bounds for a shot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like just getting a
and
little.
Then he would find a way to stay right around par. He wouldn't let it bother him. But I don't know.
I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm actually. This is one of the weeks that. Well, it's a major championship, so I'm going to always tune in. These are things that we don't get to see all the time, and it's only 4 times a year. Sacrifice some time, watch some entertaining golf. Plus, it's pretty much during my normal life.
Right. We're going to be awake.
Yeah, you might as well. We're not like Tiger, where we've been preparing.
No, I didn't need to have sleep training to be able to stay up for this. But I will tell you this. I was sitting there thinking about all the golf I've watched, this year, the major championships, just the regular tournaments, and even in the past. And I remember tournaments, I remember bits and pieces from major championships in the past. But the one that's always stuck in my head, I think it was 3 years ago. I'm not sure if it was 2015, 2016, was the British with Henrik Stenson and Phil Mickelson.
Oh, and they ran away with it?
And the final round, they were just unbelievable. Every shot. I was sitting in Bermuda watching that thing live. We all were watching it and just having a great time. And obviously, I wanted Phil to win, but Henrik Stenson was unbelievable. I remember watching
both those guys, yeah.
all 18 holes going like, I've never seen this good of golf out of 2 guys in the final group in my life.
Oh, and they were battling. And those guys, I mean, they smoked everyone by like 10 shots.
Yeah,
10, 12 shots. It wasn't even close.
No.
And that's what's kind of unique about the Open. There's so much history around it, and it's one of those events. And I'm not going to say it's the Masters. I'm not going to say it's the U.S. Open. I'm not going to say it's the PGA. It's unique in itself, and it brings memorable golf. I mean, last year, freaking Molinari coming down the stretch with Tiger and just smoked him.
Well, yeah,
You know,
Tiger
just outplayed him.
At some point, had the lead on the back nine or tied for the lead, right?
Yeah.
On Sunday, and then Molinari comes in. I'm so excited. It's a different style of golf that is so refreshing instead of watching the drive down the middle, wedge in, putt for birdies like we're used to seeing.
I
And
wish
even the U.S. Open was kind of boring this year.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Gary Woodland didn't. He didn't stutter. I mean,
the Masters kind of saved us. Because,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the PGA, yeah, Brooks won, but he had the huge lead and kind of gave it away. The Open would have been cool if he came back, a little bit more. He started out on fire. The Masters was obviously amazing. So I think we're gonna cap this major year with another awesome tournament.
yeah, and I think
And
so.
I don't know who's gonna win, but
You don't know who's gonna win? What do you mean?
no, I've picked the winner the last 3 times I think in my head, but I've been wrong.
What? Well, yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you
only-
who's not gonna win: Phil Mickelson.
What? Oh,
I love Phil, but
What do you
Jesus Christ,
mean?
he's falling apart.
he is not falling apart. He is.
Did you watch his fireside this morning?
No. We'll get into that. I want to get into that, but I want to get into the other posts he put. Like, he lost 15 pounds, 7-day cleanse. I tried it. For about 8 minutes. I can't do that. Are you kidding me? Like, who can just leave for 7 days or whatever?
I would die. You'd have to
15 pounds?
You'd have to tie me down in the hospital for 6
I'd
days.
blow over the wind.
Yeah, to cleanse like that.
Like, what?
I'd have an IV of vodka running through me.
Like, and he's holding his like shaker glass, and he's like, he did a cleanse with some coffee drink.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It just, I hope that guy gets better, and I think maybe it reset him just perfectly. Because, come on, he's got a chance. No, he doesn't have a chance.
He's a head case right now, dude. He's got to be mental.
So let's move on, because the fireside today that, like, before we recorded this, it was like an hour ago, and I'm watching this thing, and one, I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like, one, he's not in his shorts, which is different.
Yeah.
And then he's got a candle in a locker room, and he introduces his guest, which I can't believe he brought him in. Freaking Zach Johnson, really? I don't know what is he, 43 years old?
Somewhere.
That's one man I don't want to look like at 43 years old.
Zach Johnson?
I mean, he's the most he looks like he's 65 years old in that locker room.
Yeah, and Phil told him, hey, I want you to act like you came out of the shower, throw the towel around your neck, no shirt on.
But he's
Take
got
a
his
seat
hat
this-
on.
Take a seat on this bench.
Did he take a
next to
shower
me.
with his hat? Like, this is part of his
He
sponsorship.
must be balding. I don't know. I remember him at the U.S. Open. He looked like a little boy.
He does look like a little boy, but it just is funny to me. And then he tells this story that I just like fell asleep. Like,
Well, I'm going to be honest. It was like a 3-part thing.
sure.
I didn't make it to parts 2 and 3.
You didn't?
No, Zach Johnson does not interest me. Phil talking about a guy taking a shit in the cup interests me.
That's funny.
Right? Phil's mom talking about him. That kind of interests me, But 2 guys in the locker room talking about a fucking Masters dinner, I really don't care.
It was a Masters dinner, and Phil Mickelson had the knowledge about some dessert that wasn't even from Australia or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was. I was just like, I lost like 3 minutes of my life.
Yep.
Like, it was gone.
I only lost 1.
Good for you.
I stopped watching it.
I hit the like button though.
So did I.
I want Phil to continue. I like his firesides. I just want him to bring more better guests on.
Yes, funny stories.
Well, so at the end of it, he goes, normally I wrap this thing up with saying hit bombs, attack pins. But because Zach Johnson's here, I'm going to hit it down the middle and try and hit it to the middle of the green. Like the most late, just the biggest shot ever. It was pretty funny. It was
Right,
good.
just 2-putt. It'll be all right.
Just make par. So fireside with Phil, Jesus fucking.
If you
So
went,
it goes.
if you went on Fireside with Phil, would you wear the shirt you're wearing right now?
I might mix it up.
So if you
What's
guys-
wrong with my shirt?
So I just got to give you a quick rundown. I know we're talking forever on this one. JC worked last night. I don't know if he slept in the last couple days. I've been on a weird schedule, so I'm not sleeping very good. I come over to get this podcast done, and we walk into the recording room, and I sit down and I look over, and he's got a white T-shirt on with just a 40-ounce bottle on his chest. That's it. No brand, no name. There's nothing on the back. It's just a 40. Look, it could be King Cobra. It could be Old English. I don't know.
It literally says 40 on it.
And it looks like it's very old. It's been worn. It's it reminds me of those Big Johnson T-shirts you used to get back in the day.
Like those big dog
Yeah,
T-shirts.
just weird old ones. Just 40 ounce.
I mean, it's
Where
it's
do you get
your.
that?
I don't want to talk about it.
I just was it from like a
I think it was one of those like
roadside stand?
no, I think it was like Marshalls or something. Some like, they had a rack of weird shirts, and I'm like, they were like $3 or something. So
When's the last time you drank a 40?
a couple years ago,
Was it like after coaching football or something?
probably. I think it was. Yeah.
Paul Neville used to drink those King Cobras.
So besides this golf thing that we do, I got to get into it real quick. But we also coach football. It's one of our passions. But if you in the game, you put up 40, you got to drink a 40. Hence the 40-ounce
Right.
T-shirt.
And did you guys? How about last year? How many 40 ounce?
I don't know. A couple,
Right.
like 4 or 5.
This year, if you put up 40 and I actually have a day off, I'll come drink a 40.
We might be putting up 80. There might be.
That's rough. That's it. That goes into Edward Scissorhands or 40 hands.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not good. That ends with either fighting or passing out.
And that's the way it goes. So let's get back to the Open.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm wearing a 40-ounce T-shirt. Pour out some for the homies out at the Open. Anything else you want to get into for the Open Championship? Oh, besides our picks.
Our picks. We've got 5 picks. We were supposed to do this podcast Wednesday or Monday.
Monday.
We had some people that wanted to be on it live. Unfortunately, work got in the way. JC was stuck at court. We didn't get to make it happen. So we've got their picks. We're going to read them, talk a little bit about why they think that. But that would have been 5 guests.
It would have been awesome. It would have been a good show.
Think about that. When we first used to ask people if they wanted to be on the show, we'd get nothing.
No, 0.
Now we actually have people that, hey, you know what? I'll go talk to those 2 guys.
Well, and I think our style is a little, well, it is different than anyone else because it's, I don't know if you guys listened to our previous podcast with our biggest fan, Travis. It was a hit. I mean, we're different. We're going to interview people that we want to interview and who we think are interesting. And we've got some things down the road that I'm super excited about. I haven't even told Jeff yet, but we've got, I think, something lined up somewhere near Pebble Beach that we might be interviewing someone. And I've heard he's a very entertaining gentleman.
Well, I will say it's real, it's raw, and it's unscripted.
No, we're not. This is not planned out. Trust me. I wanted to sleep more, but I sacrificed some sleep to record this thing. So what? And to wear the 40 shirt. What are you making fun of me for?
No,
What?
I'm just thinking, we talk a big game like, hey, let's plan one out. Let's try to get some notes, and we always come in with our notepad, and there's nothing on it.
Oh yeah, it's like the last 30 seconds. Like, what do you want to talk about?
It's like,
Shit,
okay,
I don't know.
I'll write down who the picks are. That's it.
Perfect.
I don't even know who I'm picking yet. I still
I
haven't decided.
haven't figured it out. So we're gonna read off the people who thank you for responding to our Instagram. I know not everyone has Instagram. If you have Instagram, it's cool. It's a cool platform to interact. I've met so many people on Instagram and on social media that probably I would never run into, let alone stop and talk to. Just because it's it's kind of weird, unnatural. But I think for this podcast, we're gonna read off some of those selections who picked from our Instagram post, and the winner. What does the winner get? So if you pick the right person, what's the prize? What's the winner achieve?
So I think for this one, we just went and placed an order for our tank tops and our black camo hats, which are obviously very popular. We sold out of them once. We're gonna redo it right now, but we ordered a couple extras.
We did.
So I think maybe a signature edition Aloha Press black camo hat.
I like it.
Right?
I like it. I love it. Actually, I mean, these hats are the hats that everyone wants.
Well, and
To a point where I didn't even get one, which
That's
I'm
true.
still mad about.
yours
But
is coming. We
it's
got you,
coming.
we got you another one, but I think that's where we go if somebody actually picks this one,
all right,
and
so
they got to put it on and tag us and shout us out on Facebook, and we'll blast them for picking the winner.
absolutely. Maybe they can even jump on the podcast. Maybe next week.
If somebody picks it, they're on the podcast.
Absolutely, we'll make that happen. All right. So what are the picks? Who do we
right.
got so far? Read them off.
So we had 5, like I said, we had 5 people get a hold of us. Obviously, first and foremost, Travis Wells, #1 fan. He I think maybe gave his pick away on the podcast.
He did.
week.
We asked him like, hey, we'll call you again, and it's like, no, I'm gonna pick it right now.
Yeah, he maybe he knew that we weren't going to be able to be available for him. But he picked Xander Schauffele.
Okay.
So-
What do you think about that?
I think he's solid. I don't, he would not be my pick out of 100 probably at this course and this day, but it's good for him. San
Absolutely.
Diego boy, California boy. So we'll see. He picked Xander Schauffele. Courtney from the Average Cart Girl, one of our other guests, she couldn't decide between Rory and Brooks, so she gave us 2 picks.
Top two picks.
Yeah.
Literally number 1 and number 2, which, by the way, who in their right mind? I understand Rory McIlroy's from there. He shot the course record, whatever, when he was 16 years old. Very cool. Awesome. You're from there. It's your home country. I get it. You're a favorite. Brooks Koepka is literally coming second, first, second in the last 3 major championships. And they again diss him and don't give him the number 1 pick. Like, what the hell are they doing?
All right, hey,
He might punch someone.
I'll be interested to see how he plays down there.
I think he's going to do awesome.
You know?
I mean, his caddy's from there. His caddy's from across the street.
Oh, well, he's got a 1-up then. So Courtney picked Rory and Brooks. Oliver from Off the Deck picked Rory. Hometown cooking was his reason. All the stuff you said about course records and all that thing. Smithers, Ben, who's picked 2 correct or 1 correct?
He's picked 2 correct.
So
yeah,
he's
Masters and
2
PGA.
out of 3. He went with Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay.
Not from Northern Ireland, but from around that area. And then my brother went with old Tiger.
Old Tiger.
So
real interesting pick.
So Brian picked Tiger, and I'm sure he's a golf fan and he likes to watch golf. So I'm sure he'll be up watching it live. He'll sacrifice his sleep schedule, which is opposite of ours, to get up and watch this stuff. So that's everybody's picks. Now it's up to me and you.
So what do we get if we pick the right?
Well, it's got to be a bet
Is it-
between us. Again.
Is it a black multicam at?
Yeah, I'll give you yours.
Perfect. Thanks.
I think if one of us picks it correctly, we get to pick what course we want to go play, and the other person takes care of it.
Done. I
Right.
love it.
And it's a non-Aloha Press day. It's a fun day.
Oh, it's a fun day.
It's a fun day.
It's a fun day. I like fun days.
Right? Fun days. No stress, no camera gear, no talking to all the people at the course. We just go out and we just screw around for 18 holes.
I love it.
Deal?
I love it. All right. So let's lock him in. I mean, we've only got like 9 hours
Yeah.
until this thing kicks off.
Then you got to get to work.
I do have to get to work. So who you picking?
So I couldn't decide. I've been thinking about this for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. First, everybody thinks Rory, hometown. Not going to pick Rory. I like Tommy Fleetwood. Why? I don't know. Probably because he's from over there.
Okay.
Made me lean towards him. But for some reason, when I think of links golf and wind and rain and all this stuff, I think of low ball flights, straight balls, let the wind do the work, because obviously you hit a cut with the cut wind, it's going to go twice as far, which is what I would do. So we'd be in a lot of trouble. But I'm going with Jon Rahm.
John Rahm. Okay.
I think he's going to keep it low, hit those bullets. It's just going to come down to if he rages and breaks clubs or if he, makes putts.
Well, I mean, we've seen him at the Masters. He can still rage and still get a top 5.
That's true.
I mean, I like him raging. I think it's fun. I think it's funnier than hell.
Yeah.
John Rahm, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Real solid pick there. He just won 2 weeks ago.
He did, but you know what? When you look at all the experts picks
Sure.
on ESPN and all this, out of the 20 people that picked, none of them picked him.
No, not at all.
So
That's a good pick. I like it. That's not my pick.
who's yours?
I'm leaning towards.
You're still looking at the list right now.
I know. I'm leaning. This is like fantasy football picks. Like, I'm always the guy that's on the clock. Like, JC, you get 7 seconds. Hurry up.
Are you making sure that your pick's actually playing in the tournament?
Well, that's
this
true.
week?
I checked. I don't think Kevin Oz made it.
Okay.
I don't think he made the voyage across the Atlantic to Northern Ireland. I'm gonna go with a guy who, and this is probably more of a, I don't know what kind of pick this is. I'm gonna pick Paul Casey. Big fan of the Aloha Press. Okay, when you hand a guy a sticker, okay, and he accepts it and goes, "Thanks," I'm gonna give him the podcast bump. I think Paul Casey. He's playing with Rory McIlroy and Gary Woodland. Those two guys are gonna have all the heat on them. He's going to be. I mean, I've seen some of his outtakes today. He was chipping out of one of the tunnels that RNA had to make out of one of the dunes, like where the players get to walk underneath. he hit a stupid ball in there and freaking chipped out, and I think he made par or something crazy. So I think he's not the most popular pick, but I think with who he's playing with, he has an early tee time this morning, and I think he's gonna opportunity to kick some ass, and he's feeling good, and I don't know, we'll see. Paul Casey.
I like that. I'm actually pulling for him because we will just blast him in the Aloha Press if he wins. That'd be huge.
Absolutely. Hey, you treat us well, we're gonna treat you well.
Yep.
Give you the podcast bump. So
he was a good guy.
hopefully that works it out. Anyways, so what else?
Well, we're gonna see. I mean, like you said, it starts here in about 9-10 hours. You're gonna be working on editing the podcast, and then we're gonna go to real work for the night and try to stay awake. I'm gonna get some Instagram stuff done. I'll try to update each round with our picks and where they're at. Casey Ryan obviously didn't make a pick this time, so he can, take a back burner to his first round pick of Ricky last year,
Right.
Or last tournament, I think it was.
Yeah, I think he something like that.
Yeah, he didn't want to chime in this time.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I thought he picked the first round leader.
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna be working on Instagram. You're gonna be working on the podcast, and then we'll be doing real work in between.
And guys, one, we really appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Our popularity is growing, and the only reason it's growing is because you guys are listening and telling other people about listening to the podcast. So we really enjoy the support. We enjoy everyone that jumped on the pre-sale for the tank tops and the hats. And what that does, and we understand that, these things don't cost very much money, but it kind of helps fund the podcast and helps keep us going and to continue wanting, to put out, interesting, raw, content, because you guys are enjoying it, and that helps, and that gives us some motivation to continue our journey. I mean, we're almost through the majors, and I don't know what's going to go on in the next couple of years for our podcast, but we really appreciate you guys listening. So tell your friends about us. If you enjoy us, give us a download, give us a like, and jump on social media, interact with us. If you want to be on the podcast, you have a pretty good chance if you want to be on the podcast and give your hot takes on freaking golf, or maybe even not golf, maybe football. Shit, I don't know.
Right? We talk about anything.
We pretty much do. I mean, we're willing to talk about a lot.
Oh,
so
one thing I know we're taking forever. John Daly isn't playing. Remember we talked about Woody.
Oh
or
shit,
Woody.
yeah.
So he's not playing. But I think if one of our guys is in contention on Sunday, we open up the door to an Aloha Press in betting with this, and we can maybe raise the stakes.
Raise the stakes, huh?
Instead of just a round somewhere, maybe we raise the stakes if we think our guy can close it off.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Let's raise this. I'm a betting guy.
I know Travis. I know Travis. If his guy's in, he'll go with the Aloha Press.
Yeah, he's skipping school and freaking. He's gonna start betting.
He's a better.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, let's open the doors up and let's Aloha Press and freaking go all in. I don't know. I mean,
hey, it gives our listeners. Hey, we're gonna give you something for free. But, how much confidence do you have on Sunday? Because maybe you're going to have to give us something.
Hey, maybe they'll want to sponsor the Race to the Bottle. I don't know. We'll see.
I like it.
I love it. So, guys, really appreciate the download, the listen, the like. Sorry we got it to, got the podcast out to you guys a little later than normal. We're going to, dedicate ourselves to continue to give you some raw, interesting content. And really appreciate you guys listening. And we'll catch you soon.
Aloha.
Cheers.
Wearing all black, being aggressive, hitting bombs. Got to hit bombs off the tee to be able to get to those small sections. And that's what I'm going to do today. Hit bombs and attack the pin.